Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today I'm officially putting on my senior consultant hat to coach you through a topic that frankly sends shivers down a lot of professional spines. We're talking about power analysis. I know, it sounds like heavy, intimidating math, but stick with me here. We're going to look at exactly how AI can handle those brutal computations for you, acting as your ultimate co-pilot. But, and this is crucial, we are also going to calibrate your AI judgment skills today. We need to make sure you're leading the strategy while avoiding the trap of blindly trusting AI outputs.
Here is our roadmap for today. We'll start by looking at the sample size trap, build a statistical bridge, define the core components, let AI do the math for both simple and complex designs, and then finish up with a really important reality check.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the sample size trap.
Picture this for a second. Your team is designing a brand new study. Everyone's super excited, and a key stakeholder asks you a very fundamental question. How many participants do you actually need? Just pause and think. What's your immediate reflex to that?
If your answer is simply, well, as many as I can recruit, stop right there. You are falling into a massive trap. Working backward from your recruitment capacity rather than your actual mathematical needs is a recipe for disaster. It wastes precious time, burns through your budget, risks missing real effects entirely, and ultimately, it compromises your credibility. Sample size isn't a guess, guys. It is the foundational architecture of your entire project.
Moving right along to Section 2, building a statistical bridge. Let's try to reframe this.
Instead of looking at this as an intimidating math problem, think of your study like building a bridge. If your bridge is underpowered, meaning it's too weak, what happens? It collapses under the weight of the data. You miss real effects completely, which is a structural failure. But on the flip side, what if it's overpowered and way too strong? Well, you've just wasted valuable materials and budget chasing trivially small results that don't actually matter in the real world. Power analysis is literally just the act of calculating what is strong enough.
Which brings us to Section 3, the core components of power.
To calculate exactly how strong that bridge needs to be, you have to shift your role from human calculator to decision maker. The absolute crucial first step is determining your effect size, basically the expected magnitude of your phenomenon. This requires you to step back and really ask yourself, what size of a difference would actually matter out there in the real world? Are we looking for a tiny, incremental shift or a massive practice-changing result?
Next up is alpha. Think of this as your false alarm rate. It's essentially the error rate you are willing to accept for claiming an effect exists when, in reality, it doesn't. In most fields, this false positive threshold is pretty safely parked at 0.05.
And finally, power. This is your true positive rate. Meaning, if a real effect actually exists out there in the wild, how confident are you that your specific study design is going to catch it? The industry standard goal here is usually set at 80%.
Okay, Section 4, AI does the math. This is where things get really interesting, and AI steps in as our co-pilot.
Look at how beautifully AI automates this entire workflow. Step 1, specify the effect size based on practical meaning. Step 2, estimate population variability. Step 3, choose your power. And then, Step 4, just let the AI handle the intimidating computations. You literally do not need to memorize a single formula. But, and put your consultant hats on for a second, before you blindly trust the output, run a quick checklist in your head evaluating the task risk versus the AI's capability. Always verify the math it spits out, because AI is a tool, not an infallible oracle.
Now, once you've verified, this unlocks something incredible called sensitivity analysis. By relying on AI, you can instantly test how different effect size assumptions completely change your recruitment needs. Hunting for a tiny effect, the AI will flag that you need a massive sample. But if you only care about large effects, your required sample size shrinks drastically. AI lets your team explore dozens of these what-ifs in literal seconds.
Now into Section 5, simple versus complex designs.
While simple designs just need basic calculators, AI becomes an absolute lifesaver when your research scales up. For complex situations, like multi-level studies where students are grouped within classrooms, or adaptive trials where simple formulas literally don't even exist, AI is a total game changer. It can write custom R or Python simulation code for you, but listen to me carefully here. This is a high-risk task. AI is notorious for hallucinations in code. It might invent a fake citation for a statistical package that doesn't exist, or fabricate statistical functions that look completely plausible but are totally made up. Use the AI to write the baseline code, absolutely, but you must have a human expert review it.
Let's wrap up the process with Section 6, reality checks, and feasibility.
Because what happens when the AI mathematically calculates a sample size that you physically cannot recruit? What if it says you need 1,000 participants, but your budget only covers 100? To solve this, you have to ruthlessly contrast statistical significance with practical significance. You have to ensure the effect your power to detect actually matters outside the laboratory. Look, finding a statistically significant 1-point drop on a 100-point scale with 5,000 participants might be a fun math victory, but it is completely useless in the real world.
If your required sample size is impossible, you have to start pulling different levers to adjust feasibility. You might just have to accept a lower power, maybe 70%. You could increase your alpha level. Or, honestly, you might have to go back to the drawing board and redesign the study entirely to target a larger, more practical effect size.
But through all of these adjustments and compromises, never forget that targeting 80% power is the industry baseline. It ensures you aren't wasting time, participants, or budget. It's the sweet spot for a sturdy, reliable statistical bridge.
So, as you prepare to design your next big project and let AI handle the heavy lifting, I want to leave you with this final, critical thought. What effect size actually matters for your research? Keep your AI judgment sharp, keep asking the big questions, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.